So now I'm at standing in the oppressive silence, the rain beating down upon his head. Caramon heard a voice thudding at his brain with some monotonous, dull tone as the drops spattering about him. He seeks to become a god. He seeks to become a god. I was just barely looking at the spot where to do the gods and goddesses here in Portland on November 8th. That's really cool. Sick and afraid, Caramon shook his head in anguish. His interest in the army, his fascination with being a general, his attraction to Christiania, what? And all the other 1,000 worries had driven from his mind. The real reason he had come back. Now, with Christiania's words, a return to him, hitting him like a wave of chill seawater. A wave of hitting him like a wave of chill seawater. She kind of does that on her stream or whatever. Yeah, all he could think of was Raceland as he was last night. How long it had been since he heard his brother laugh like that. How long had it been since they'd shared that warmth, that closeness? Vividly, he remembered watching Raceland's face as he guarded his twin's sleep. He saw the harsh lines of his cunning smooth, the bitter creases of his mouth fade. The Archmage looked almost young again, and Caramon remembered their childhood and young manhood together. But those days that had been the happiest of his life. But then came, unbidden, a hideous memory, though his soul were taking a perverse delight in torturing and confusing him. He saw himself once more in that dark cell in Istar, seeing clearly, for the first time, his brother's vast capability for evil. He remembered his firm determination that his brother must die. Wait. He saw himself once more in that dark cell in Istar, seeing clearly for the first time his brother's vast capability for evil. He remembered the firm determination that his brother must die. He thought of Tasselhoff. I forgot what happened back then and what that actually meant. He thought of Tasselhoff. I want to make videos and stuff for them. But Raceland had explained all that. He had explained things at Istar. Once again, Caramon felt himself foundering. What if Persalian is wrong? What if... Now, Persalian, that's like the person that runs TwitchCon or something. What if they were all wrong? What if race and Christiania could save the world from horror and suffering like this? I'm just a jealous, bumbling fool, Caramon mumbled. wiping the rainwater from his face with the trembling hands. So
What you originally had asked him.
the rain coming from the sky on his face would be like,
Look here.
you're showing off your story and how you're gonna meet your wife, and it's bothering me. Maybe those old wizards are all like me, all jealous of him. The darkness. So the wizards have represented the other people on Twitch. The darkness deepened around him. The clouds above grew denser, changing from gray to black. Rain beat down more heavily. Yep. How's it going? What does it mean when somebody has Pieces Fit podcast? What does it mean when people have that crown thing on your name? I'm talking to the chat. Yeah, I'm planning on hitting the bar tonight. So let's see. I'll go bring him out and pull him. Where was I? The rain beat down more heavily. Raceland came out the door, Chrysania with him, her hand on his arm. She wrapped in her thick cloak, her grayish-white hood drawn up over her head. Caramon cleared his throat. Caramon cleared his throat. I'll go bring him out and put him with the others, he said, gruffly, starting for the door. Then I'll fill in the grave. Weird. I thought that Chrysania was just kind of grabbing me by the stone element and saying that I was older and that I died first, and that I'm at Taylor Street, by the way. I was gonna make a video for her that is for her to watch when she's an older woman because of what happened in this spot. But she said I was too old, and what she did to me was horrible, but it was worth being with me. That's what she just said, that I heard. I guess it's because it's gonna be fun. Most fun. And touring and stuff is probably gonna be awesome. So no, my brother Raceland said, wait, then I'll fill in the grave. So while I was reading that, I was thinking about mine in the future. No, my brother Raceland said, no, this site will not be hidden in the ground. He cast back his hood, letting the rain wash over his face, and he lifted his gaze to the clouds. This sight will flare in the eyes of the gods. The smoke of their destruction will rise to heaven. Right. The sound will resound in their ears. Caramon, startled at this unusual outburst, looked to turn at his twin. Raceland's thin face was nearly as gaunt and pale as the corpse inside the small house. His voice tense with anger. "Come with me," he said, abruptly breaking free of Chrysania's hold and striding toward the center of the small village. Chrysania followed, holding her hood to keep the slashing wind and rain from blowing it off. Caramon came after more slowly. Stopping in the middle of the muddy, rain-soaked street, Raceland turned to face Chrysania and his brother as they came up to him. "Get the horses, Caramon, ours and Chrysania's. Lead them to the woods outside of town," the mage pointed. "Blindfold them, then return to me." Caramon stared at him. "Do it," Raceland commanded, his voice rasping. Caramon did as he was told, leading the horses away. "Now stand there," Raceland continued when his twin returned. "Do not move from that spot. Do not come close to me, my brother, no matter what happens." His gaze went to Chrysania, who was standing near him, then back to his brother. "You understand, Caramon?" Caramon nodded. Wordlessly, and reaching out, gently took Chrysania's hand. "What is it?" she asked, holding back. "It's magic." He fell silently as Raceland cast a sharp, imperious glance. Sorry. Silent fell as Raceland cast a sharp, imperious glance at him. Alarmed by this strange, fiercely eager expression on Raceland's face, Chrysania suddenly drew nearer Caramon, shivering. The big man, his eyes on his frail twin, put his arm around her. "I thought she was telling me that I know too much. Of course you'd do anything, but he's hot." When I was in Vegas, I thought that he apologized to me while I was falling asleep. He was like saying something about how he was checking her out at a park or something. She was cutting over or something. And he's like, "I'm sorry." Let's see. Where am I? "Now stand there, Caramon." Wait. Where am I? So it said, Chrysania suddenly drew near Caramon, shivering. The big man, his eyes, so that's kind of warning me because of what happened with, it's like kind of warning me because because in the book it's saying that they are attracted to each other, so it like makes it worse. So it's kind of wording it in the way that warns me. Because I was telling her how it gives me shivers when I read the book, when I read these books, especially in one of them when it said how he met her in a dream first. Like with that moment when it happened. And I had a dream of her before it happened. I had a dream of her. She came to me in pigtails and kissed me. It was incredible. I thought it was somebody else because I didn't know about her at the time. And I was trying to figure out who came to me in my dreams. It was obviously her though, because she's the one that gonna read this and be like, get shivers and chills. So it worded it in a way that's like, the big man, his eyes on his frail twin, put his arm around her. Well, of course, safe. The big, standing, that's not, I think, yeah, she wouldn't. Standing together in the pounding rain, almost daring not to breathe lest they disturb him, they watched the Archmage. Britannia's eyes closed, lifting his face to the heavens. He raised his arms. Oh my God, that's scary. Oh my God. I just heard her say, no, I wouldn't. But it was in my right ear. And then she said, yeah, it might be good to me. Wow, weird. And then she just went to the left side and went, see? Of course not. Isn't that weird? It's like measuring my thoughts. And I'm just like allowing it to happen, allowing it to enter. Because I know she's going to think about it a lot. And she's proven it actually comes from her. It's really magical. But this floating universe thing has to be real. But since I'm dedicated and work and I am have goals and stuff, it's not like it's a real. When I use my memory, I know it's real. Trying to create the most beautiful experience, of course. All fell silent as Raistlin cast a sharp, imperious glance. Okay, wait, where is it? Caramon nodded wordlessly. Blah, 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 blah. Oh wait. Raistlin's eyes closed. Lifting his face to the heavens, he raised his arm, palms outward, toward the lowering skies. His lips moved, but for a moment, they could not hear him. Then, though he did not seem to raise his voice, each could begin to make out words, the spidery language of magic. He repeated the same words over and over, his soft voice rising and falling in a chant. The words never changed, but the way he spoke them, the inflection of each, varied each time he repeated the phrase. A hush settled over the valley. Well, I don't want to tell you what happened. It basically And then the guy got mad at me, or was like threatening me. And she was like, it basically meant, okay, so the lowering skies was like the air coming closer, and then somebody else was like, away, and then the hush settled. Even the sound of the falling rain died in Caramon's ears. All he could hear was the soft chanting, the strange and eerie music of his brother's voice, Chrysania pressing closer still, her dark eyes wide, and Caramon patted her reassuringly. Weird. I feel like right there, it was about her becoming a musician for some reason. As the chanting continued, a feeling of awe crept over Caramon. He had the distinct impression that he was being drawn irresistibly toward Raistlin. That everything in the world was being drawn toward the Archmage, though, looking fearfully around, Caramon saw that he hadn't moved from the spot. But turning back to stare at his brother, the feeling returned even more forcibly. Raistlin stood in the center of the world, his hands outstretched, and all around, all light and even the air itself seemed to rush eagerly into his grasp. The ground beneath Caramon's feet began to pulse in waves that flowed toward the Archmage. Let's see. Weird. Okay. Sorry. Raistlin, blah, 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 blah. Raistlin lifted his hands higher, his voice rising ever so slightly. He paused, then he spoke, each word in a chant, slowly, firmly. The winds rose. The ground heaved. Caramon had the wild impression that the world was rushing up in upon his brother. He had braced his feet, fearfully that he, too, would be sucked into Raistlin's dark vortex. Cool. Raistlin's fingers stabbed toward the gray, boiling heavens. That meant, like, finding out how to bring the same experience to his wife. The energy that he had drawn from ground and air surged through him. Silver lightning flashed from his fingers, striking the clouds. Brilliant, jagged light forked down in answer, touching the small house where the body of the young cleric lay. With a shattering explosion, a ball of white light, a blue-white flame engulfed the building. There is this building is blue and white, and it's the one that I'm making a video for her because as like an elderly woman, It was weird, like I had this experience. Very cool. Yeah, I thought that she was an old woman saying that she slept with, or that she met somebody or something, and they were like hanging out there or something, or there were some friends there or something, or she was waiting for somebody to leave there. I'm not really sure what was happening, but so isn't that messed up that somebody, that would be really evil. Somebody misunderstood that. Flames don't mean passion, it means real fire. Something stupid. Where is it though? Where am I? Lost my spot. Okay, maybe I should stop it here because, like, I'm kind of out of time. And, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more pages. I don't want to do this now. Okay, so where am I? I'm at the blue and white building. You said blue and white fire there. Let's see, where is it? I can't even find it. Oh, I found it. Ball of blue, white flame engulfed the building. So let's just stop right here, and then I'll come back later. Okay. I'm going to make a video for her. A romantic video every day. Okay. And goodbye. And goodbye. And goodbye. And goodbye. Okay, well, I'm gonna read again tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get comic books and get more of them, and do maybe I should get more other people to do it with me. That'll be really funny. Get other people. What if I did just random people? I should find people that volunteer. I got to spend more time on Facebook and connect to people. So I'll do that. All right. Bye-bye.